Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Game 2. My name is ODPixel. I am here with Purge Gamers, the absolute legend. Let's get himself on the team speak. Purge! How you doing? Are you there?
I'm still here. I was talking with the in-game audio people while you were gone.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a nice little one-way chat. I just whispered sweet nothings into their ear. And I kept myself busy, so I'm still here.
Oh, well, kept yourself... okay. Well, okay, however you fancy, doodly-doo. Anyway, Game 2, what we're going to see, we're going to see the NiP Chen. Now, Chen, what a hero, what a lad. Troll Warlord first pick. A little bit less impressed by that from Alliance, but Chen, first pick, he's always... Oh, come on, Alliance. Troll Sniper. That... You know what?
It's dirty.
That is... I mean, Purge, what do you say? What do you say to those picks?
Sniper with Troll Warlord ulti is really scary. That's what that is. A lot of attack speed leads to headshots, which leads to somebody not moving because of the chain stun. So, or the chain slow, that is. I think that's a pretty cool combo. They got Elena well, but I'm pretty sure Alliance is going to do that just fine. Chen is a great hero. He's been buffed tons and tons. Gets up to 4 creeps now. He gets 2 creeps at level 3 and on, which is nice. And they go with the Witch Doctor as well. Witch Doctor actually a good counter to Chen, but it's actually on the same team. So are they going to do a push strat maybe with heal, AoE heal? I'm not really sure. I mean, there's so many things both teams could do right now that you can't even predict anything. All we can really do is talk about the heroes, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, the Witch Doctor, as you said, I do like that pickup, and maybe that does kind of signify that Ninjas in Pajamas will be looking for some early action. And they ban out load of Slark, and they let them have Pycat Sniper. I mean, in that game, do you feel Slark potentially is more of an issue just in general than a sniper? I mean, why do they focus on banning out the Slark rather than the sniper?
Well, one thing that's really good about Slark is he's very hard to gank. So even if Ninjas in Pajamas wants to do more of a team fight or a push lineup, or maybe they want to gank more, I mean, that's always an issue if one of your enemy's cores is ungankable. Like when I'm playing Crystal Maiden sometimes, and I'm playing against a hero mid that I know I just can't get a kill on, like, I don't know. Quap isn't really the best example because Frostbite locks her down, but we'll use Quap as an example. Like, that's a hero that's really hard to gank in the mid lane. If you have these ungankable lanes, it becomes a little bit easier to predict what your opponents are going to do if they don't have the right counters to deal with that. So if you have a Slark in the safe lane and he's shut down, and let's imagine NiP had good ganking heroes last game. If they have good ganking heroes that can gank the safe lane, if you have to worry about him just pouncing into trees, or you have to worry about him just pressing his ulti button once and the gank ends, then you're in a bad situation. Even pre-6, he can dark pact off things. So it's just a really difficult hero to gank, and you could argue that having ungankable lanes in like 2 out of the 3 lanes makes the game really tough. And if you thought about what Effing Mad did last game, he was always at the mid lane at the right place in the right time. And those weren't necessarily ganks from the Troll Warlord, but I mean, that was the one hero that was vulnerable, and that's where Effing Mad ended up being multiple times, whereas Slark wasn't going to die in the safe lane. So that's something that you can think of target acquisition on the map. If one hero is ungankable as a core or extremely hard to gank, that's something you're probably not going to even bother trying.
Yes, yeah, I guess in that respect, yeah. There's definitely more of a chance to get the sniper, but if you don't, you really don't, and you will feel it. You will certainly feel it if you let Pycat get a good start, and it is looking good. He's got this troll, as you said, once he pops 6, sniper with those constant headshots coming through, it's not going to be nice with a battle chance. A Treant Protector is going to be snagged by the side of Alliance, so sniper already getting some backup in the form of that living armor. I think NiP, with that Venge ban, I think if Majka gets his hand on that Venge again, that was definitely one of the supports that really was key to Pycat having such a good early game in the last game.
Yeah. He honestly played a perfect Venge game. Did a lot of early roaming, utilized his stun. Venge's stun is one of the best early nukes in the game on a support, I think. It's very reliable. It does good damage. The stun duration is solid. And then he transitioned really well in the mid game too. Usually when you hit 6 on Venge, your first couple swaps are for ganking, and he did that. A lot of good swap ganks. And then when you get to the late game, it's more defensive, and he kept the sniper a bit in a better position. So I think Effing Mad played really well last game. That was a perfect Venge game. And it's just all around a strong support, so not too surprised to see it banned. The only thing I'm really worried about for Alliance here is that their lineup is now pretty passive because they have a Treant Protector. Maybe they're going to need something like they need a good disable or some kind of a good support, I think. They outlaned their opponents pretty well last time, but I think they might need a better ganking or supporting hero for laning. On the bright side, they do have Treant Protector, which will be able to heal towers and protect against pushes, but it's going to make the lanes a little bit weaker.
Indeed. And the Wind Ranger pickup for NiP, by the looks of it, do you reckon they will put that in the offlane, or are they going to match that up against the Pycat Sniper?
Which hero in the offlane? Wind Ranger?
The Wind Ranger, yeah.
It's very unlikely. Wind Ranger isn't really played as an offlane hero right now. The hero's armor is too low. You kind of need too much in the early game. You need armor and you need regen, but the hero also has terrible base strength, so you also need to buy HP items. So she's kind of in a weird place. Wind Run does last for 3 seconds, but pretty much any support duo or tri-lane is going to be able to shut down a Wind Ranger and zone her at level 1. So Wind Ranger is not actually a good offlane hero. She's okay safe lane solo as versus in a 1v1 matchup, but most people play Wind Ranger in the mid lane, and I think that's probably the way to play her. She's actually good against Sniper if you think about it as well. Maybe that's what the idea is that when you're in a really bad situation and he's strapping you to keep you slowed down, you just press Wind Run and he can't hit you, so he's not getting that slow. And you can just run through the shrapnels at that point. So I think that's a decent option for not getting outplayed by Sniper. And in the same vein, Wind Ranger has good mobility options, which should allow her to chase Sniper and potentially get kills there as well. So I actually like the Wind Ranger pick. I think that's a pretty good hero to lane against Sniper in the mid lane.
Okay, yeah, we'll see how well the side of NiP are able to run it. The fourth pick now for Alliance is going to be the Scout for Affirmation. Okay, okay, so they go for the Broodmother. That hero that arguably... From looking at those final kind of bans, we see teams do not like it when the opponent sneaks through a Brood. And NiP, they're going to try out this game. And so far, really, I mean, the solo lockdown and damage is there for Alliance, but as it comes to wave clear, they've not really got the ability to deal with a Brood at this stage in their draft, have they?
They don't. They have to lane their troll versus the Brood, and that's where we're going to get some ninja tactics at the start. Not meaning to point out ninjas in pajamas or anything, but I think what Alliance has to do is they have to do a really early scout to find out where the Brood is, and that's where they have to lane the troll, because troll's one of the few. It's their only hero that they have right now that has good AoE damage that can clear spiders and more importantly give them blind effects that they can't just right click somebody down. The Skywrath Mage is going to have a really rough game if he's laning against a Brood because he's got no armor, so he's going to take a ton of spider damage. He has no AoE. He basically can't lane there. So what I think NiP might do here is do a safe lane Brood and then do an aggressive tri-lane with an offensive Chen jungling, which might work because it's only a Treant, so their roaming duo isn't as amazing as it could be. Maybe do aggressive tri-lane, safe lane Brood, but if it's basically going to be like what happened last game. Can they predict what their opponents are going to do and counter it? So there's basically some mind games that are going to go on here. Since Alliance doesn't have very good options against the Brood, other than the troll, they have to put the troll versus Brood. So we'll probably see scouting and trying to lane properly.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of lanes we do see the teams run. And I'm almost certain with the Treant, saw Alliance do this yesterday. They picked up Magicka with the Treant when the Chen was picked up against them. And what he did was pretty much just go straight into the jungle and with the Nature's guys just constantly sap the experience of Chen. And it was very, very effective. And also what was really nice about it, in fact, this is almost a mirror's image of what happened in the game yesterday. They picked the Treant after the Sniper. And as well as just offering the living armor, just the fact that you had this Treant constantly on the back of the Chen, keeping tabs on him and sapping the XP, you knew any time a gank was going to be coming in, and that made it a lot harder for the opponents to gank the Sniper with the Chen, because it was literally impossible, because Treant, he's going to always have eyes on the Pokemon Master.
That's pretty cool, actually. Interesting idea. You could kill him with a Witch Doctor Chen if you had the right creeps and a Dust, but I like the idea of sapping the Chen's experience because it really limits his ability to farm. More levels is what he needs to get more creeps. So if you delay his level 3 by about 4 minutes or something like that while giving yourself farm, then it's going to put you in a good spot. The only downside is you won't be able to do things yourself. But, you know, maybe you can. If you're in their jungle sapping experience, it doesn't take that much to disappear randomly and then shift to the mid lane for a leech seed and maybe get a kill with help from your sniper. So sounds like a pretty good idea. A Jakiro, not very often picked, but has really good AoE.
Yes.
Most importantly, you're going to be able to clear the Chen creeps very easily, and if you get a Eul's, you can set up a combo which is going to result in most likely dead heroes. Witch Doctor's got to be careful as well, because even him casting his ultimate from range at the end of the battlefield means Jakiro can sometimes snipe you with the ice path. And also very importantly is he can stop the spiders from diving somebody if the Broodmother's not quite paying attention. So it's not the best hero, but I think he's still really good. He was overpowered in the previous patch, but he got some nerfs to Liquid Fire, which was doing way too much damage at level 4. And now playing the hero, he actually feels balanced. He was too good before, definitely. I played him a lot in solo queue. But I think he's a pretty balanced hero right now. And I think he's an okay pick sometimes.
Okay, yeah. We'll see what he's able to achieve, and is definitely going to offer as well to the push with the Sniper and the Troll coming in. Final pick now for NiP. They do still need their safe lane carry, the guy that's going to be able to man up with the Witch Doctor. What do they go for? They're going to go for the Luna. Okay.
Yeah,
and
it's push lane up.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got a lot of push themselves. It's going to be limp on the Luna, so will be error on the Wind Ranger. I wondered if it would be the other way around, in fact, when we see limp in the mid lane on Wind Ranger, but no, it's going to be error on the mid WR. And so Luna, that is a carry that we don't see a lot of teams opt for. As you said early on, a lot of nice free damage, obviously, with the passive, and you've got very good push. You've got a very effective ultimate if you're able to find the right situations to use it in. But at the same time, if the game goes late and the Sniper's having a better time, you're going to be so squishy. And Sniper, he's going to have no trouble manning up against the Luna.
Yeah, and he can always stay away from her as well. Luna's, we'll see what a build Limp goes, but he'll probably at least get a Manta, so his movement speed is pretty good, and Luna's base MS is really high, so... But the problem is that Luna's attack range is a lot lower than Sniper's by like at least 2 or 3 times, something ridiculous like that. So it'll be a little tough for him to be able to stay within range. But the important part is that they have a really good push lineup, and that heroes on Alliance generally are going to want to dive. At least Troll will. Troll's going to be in melee range in most cases. So if Luna can get on top of him and then drop the ultimate, it's going to be a bad game for Troll unless Troll may have to get a BKB this game.
What's going on?
Oh, it said Spirit Breaker banned. Sorry, misclick. Can't unpause. Don't know how I even paused.
Oh.
They can't write in chat. I think you can on console.
I think you have to use the console, don't you? So are we good? What's that? So what happened? They paused by accident.
No, NiP accidentally banned the wrong hero, and they told Alliance. They paused the game to tell them, and Alliance didn't know how to all chat or something like that. I'm a little surprised at that, and then apparently the Loda was AFK, but maybe Loda was drafting. I'm not sure.
AFK
or somebody
drafting.
Can resume. But they're just like confirming what happened. It seems like just a nice little.
Okay.
Nothing.
So we're good. There's no drama. That's all right. We'll put down our pitch.
It's not uncommon. Like sometimes you're not paying attention when you're drafting and you accidentally ban the wrong hero. You run out of time and it randoms a ban, and you're like, whatever.
All right, well, we'll see how we get going as Alliance. They're heading for the bounty rune. There's your paralyzing cast. It's going to bounce between the tree and the Skyriff. Who's going to go down first? It will be Seal Kid for the first, but they might find Ake in return, but no, they can't. And Alliance, can they find more here? Pycat with the shrapnels. He's already popped them all down, but this might be enough to find Hanskin as he's going to go up to the high ground. Are they going to be able to find that final punch? Yes, they are. Magica will he even die? Yes, he will. It's a 2-for-1 trade, but it is favoring the side of Alliance, and Limp taking a lot of heavy harass. And wow, that was a bounty room fight and a half. 2-for-1. Alliance coming out on top there.
Yeah, it really helps boots on tree waffle boost at 32 seconds. That's so abusive. This guy's got 390 movement speed before he attacks.
Wow.
And every other hero has like 300 movement speed. Like, he is going to be able to roam so hard with this right now. It's so actually really good that he got the double kill there. He already went greedy on boots first, and now he's just going to be able to be super abusive.
This is a strong start for Alliance, and with a lineup that I'm sure they'll be very happy with running. I'll see what they're able to do with it. Bottom lane, trying to harass back Jonas and Fam. They have popped down the sentry straight away to try and deal with this Brood Mother. They need really the level 2 on Troll, and they should be able to kill the Brood, shouldn't they?
Killing him maybe not, but this is basically the only time that Ake can contest the Brood. Brood needs to get as many levels as possible, and if they can deny his farming by a bit, and Ake can give him a little bit of space, give a little space to Loda, it's going to lower the chances of Loda getting solo killed later. So with the sentry down, they're able to push forward. He's able to spam his mana out, do as much as he can to the Brood. Maybe even get some pulls off. And later, when the Brood gets level 3, level 4, he's just going to leave the lane and go do other things, because at that point, he can't do anything to help the Brood. I mean, they're not going to kill the Brood here, but maybe.
Maybe. It gets
pops
close.
A salve. And, he's almost level 4. Pretty soon he's going to have crazy amounts of spiders. And that's when things get tough. So just smart of Ake to do the pressure while he can until the spiders get to ridiculous levels.
And we're seeing Magica already starting to do his shenanigans in the jungle here. Old top lane, Nikwa. They're trying to get the aggression on. They might be able to find the kill. He's fairly tanky. The Maledict is on him. I think you're right. Yeah, one more right click. And that will be the kill going to error. So a very nice kill there for the Luna.
Well, he even got tree illusions. Those are really nice to have, actually. They last illusions from illusion runes actually last really long. They're actually supercharged illusions in a lot of ways. Just a lot of damage and stuff. But he's just gonna steal last hits. There's really not a whole lot Chen can do about this.
No, there really isn't. He's pretty much powerless unless, as you said, a rotation comes from the Witch Doctor, and then maybe with a Sentry they can do something about the tree. But Magicka, with that very, very early Tranquil Boots pick up, the fact he's got 5 armor, 682 health, it is an awful lot. He comes in, gives a little bit of a tap on the shoulder. Oh, Seal Kid backs him out. 2 for 2 still. Looking at the other lanes, mid lane, the sniper. Oh, hang on, Troll.
Whoa.
Bottom lane, they found the Brood. Did you catch that one, Purge?
Got him. I didn't. I mean, I didn't expect this. The Sentry was placed in a really good spot. Brood is still level 3. This is the important part. He only had 2 nets. And when he only has 2 nets, you can kind of counter what he's doing. And look at this. Ake's even predicting it. When Brood comes back, he's going to have to put another net down. And they've already got a Sentry ready. So because he's only level 3, he's only got 1 net, which gives... Or 2 nets, sorry. Level 1 net. It just doesn't give him as many options. And Ake's suicides here. Because he bought new items and he wanted to go back and heal his HP was so low. So it's completely fine for him to do this here. Totally normal suicide in neutrals after spending money.
And we're going to see the first gank attempt by the looks of it coming from Hansken up the river. Jakiro Nikwa getting caught out a little bit in this kind of role where he is all alone.
Melodic.
Oh, the living arm, I think that might be just enough to protect him, and it looks like the dragon will escape this time. But Jakiro putting him on the off lane, just trying to find the levels. I mean, how do you rate the hero in that position?
It's okay when in a dual lane. It's not that amazing in the off lane, but again, you don't really need that much experience or gold for this hero to work. You just kind of want to get a couple more levels, so I think it's okay, honestly. It'll be okay later. Loda may be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, he does get picked off on the bot lane. Oh, that was a gank from Wind Ranger, no wonder. I was like, wow, why is he dying? It was a haste rune on Wind Ranger, not a whole lot he could do there.
No, not at all. So 3 for 4, NiP with the lead at the moment. Magicka continuing to sap the XP from Hansken. And Pycat, as I was saying, he was losing out a little bit to the Wind Ranger, but he's caught up now after Limp made that rotation. And now 23 CS up against the 19 of the Wind Ranger. And, oh, bottom lane. Oh, we missed it. Oh, god damn it, I missed it. The Brood dies to Loda, and Loda alone, just with the help of the Sentry, which was literally about to expire.
No, the Ake was there on the Sky. Oh. He killed the Sky right after he died.
Okay, yeah.
We lose to Jakiro again.
Yeah.
So Nikwa died Maledict that time, really far away. It was a good skill build on Witch Doctor. He opted for 2 levels of Maledict here. You don't really expect a bunch of bounces, so you just want the extra bonus damage, and they're able to pick off a Jakiro. Jakiro not very good against this dual lane at all. I think is the issue. I don't think Trio Protector really needed to stay in the lane either. I think him sapping experience has been fine. He's going to steal a creep here. Goodbye. That actually gives him so much gold.
It really does. And Magicka finding level 3. He is on par, neck and neck pretty much with Hansken on the Chen. So Chen is definitely being held back, and Trent's finding some nice bit of free XP in the opponent's jungle. There's still Pycat. He's got the phase boots now. He can give the old little bit of a rundown onto Limp. And bottom lane Brood trying to skip the creeps, positioning herself quite aggressively. Ake and Loda, they're going to find themselves the 6-minute rune. Is it anything tasty? It is an invis rune for Loda. Is he going to be able to go on it? You know, he's going to keep it bottled up for the time being, because there was a smoke up and rotation from Seal Kid and Hansken towards the Radiant jungle. Jakiro stacking some camps at the moment, and Ake is there.
He is very likely to die right now if he stays put here. I mean, he's collapsed on all sides right now. We're just pretty much going to do whatever he wants here. Yeah, there's the creeps. Here comes a stun and the Chen stun, and that should be dead. Okay.
Yeah, Loda thinks about going in to help his mate, but pops the invis rune and decides to keep to himself, because with this pushing power, they will be able to find themselves a tier 1 on the bottom lane. And NiP 7 to 4, definitely a much stronger start than we saw in the first game.
He did miss the tower last hit, which is pretty significant. That's definitely something Brute should have gotten there. He's losing about 250 gold for that. It's like a hero kill. When your tower's uncontested, you need to get that last hit, so that's a pretty big mistake from him.
On Loda, he might think about getting a kill here. Onto Seal Kid.
You can block him in.
Yeah, that is a dead.
That was actually pretty easy. Well done by him, though. Good, very patient. Watched him. Ended up getting lucky on the push in. Gets to block him in.
7 minutes in. Let's have a look at the net worth. How are we doing after all these kills? It's been quite a frantic game. Top of the board is your Troll Warlord. But then you have got Luna and Brood, in fact, ahead of the Sniper in the mid lane. And Darren,
that's Brood.
Yeah, there's no stopping the Brood. Even though they've killed her twice, she still finds a lot from the lane, skipping the creep waves, getting everything. A little bit unfortunate for herself that, as you said, she did miss out on that.
Wow, Alliance got this ward. That's a huge D ward right there. So one downside with warding by where the Brood is, they're going to put sentries there most likely, and they end up catching the Observer. Ooh, Treant Protector is going to spot out the DD bot. Gets denied.
Can they find the Brood here? Loader is going to walk into the Spider. Tries to come out. But yeah, there's no detection here. Forcing him to the edge of his web. Magicka's come into the Radiant jungle. Has left the Chen alone for the time being. Who is going to be able to find himself some undisrupted farm. 8 minutes 20. Alliance. Pycat just clearing out the jungle camps. Not having as a blazing of a start as he did in the first game. But yeah. Alliance they're still definitely in there. NiP, they're doing what they wanted the draft to do though. Pushing down that bottom tab, keeping pressure on the majority of the lanes, and making it hard for Alliance to find their footing.
It's looking pretty okay for Alliance, but NiP was underperforming in the offlane a little bit. He's almost level 6, so he's doing kind of okay, but his farm rate compared to what the Luna has is just not the same. And it's as a result of them picking an offlane hero that's not really a super typical offlane hero. The hero doesn't have the best armor, so he can be killed by 2 ranged heroes especially. He's got high strength gain, but that's about it. And he's just finished his Tranquil Boots. He's got 600 gold actually on top of that, but just needs to get up a couple more levels. And usually you need a lot more farm than this for Jakiro to pay off, because he's going to be able to throw out spells, but right now he's mostly only got Liquid Fire, and if anything, this is kind of counteractive to what they want to do in this draft. Liquid Fire is good for taking towers, but their team isn't as pushy as the enemy team's is, so... in the same vein, though, you can counter-push the hero while they're pushing is an option. Might be able to kill on Wind Ranger here. Oh, yeah, I forgot that headshot goes through evasion. I guess that's one reason that Sniper's okay versus Wind Ranger.
So it looks like it. In bottom lane, we did just see the Brood Mama going ham onto the Scarif Mage, and as a Scarif Mage, it's never fun playing against the Brood when she's sneaking around, whittling you away with the spiders and finishing you off with that nuke. And the NiP with Era, Sealkin and Hanskin are going to go for this top tier 1 fortification. Is going to come out, but I don't know if Alliance will be able to defend this. Sniper's coming in with an Invis rune. Magicka, only level 4, hasn't got that overgrowth. And the tower will go down, and can Alliance even find anything off the back of it? It's a pretty huge push.
I don't know.
They need more than this. They do have Scarif Mage hanging in the wings. And there's your Shrapnel. Starting to slow. In comes the big concussive shot onto Era. Era actually hiding to the sidelines there in the trees, and looks like they just want to try and pick off the chain creeps. And they might just be able to do so, getting fairly low. Oh no, actually they back up, and well, Hansken, Sealkin and Era, they do want to take a fight, and they want to come back and fight Alliance face to face. But Alliance, they're keeping it smart. Yeah, Alliance need to be careful here.
Alliance is just trying to delay the push, basically. They're going to give Nikwa some solo experience here. Once he hits 7, his Liquid Fire will be spammable, and then he can win this lane a bit more, and most importantly, push the mid tower if it's uncontested. But this is the nice thing about NiP's draft here, is that they have a Luna, a Witch Doctor, and a Chen, and that's really all they need for a push. They don't need 5 heroes. So they're creating pressure on the other 2 lanes with both Brood and their safe lane, and then their mid lane is completely defensible because it's a Wind Ranger. You can easily counter push. So it basically gives Alliance, they're able to do what they want to do with their draft, which is take free towers with Jakiro while the other team's doing something else. And Troll has to sit bottom to stop the Brood Mother. It's just, there's not a whole lot they can do right now. They're kind of pincered in what NiP's draft is. If they can delay the game much later, if they go into the late game, I think they'll be okay here, but in the early lane stage, it's tough.
Era on the top lane, so far out. They need the assassinate to cancel the TP. It just doesn't come in time. And Era, even though he was very aggressively positioned and all that on his own, he gets out of there.
Ooh, Shackle and Nikwa on the mid lane, focus fire as well. Wow, that armor did so much. Duet might actually see a kill in Wind Ranger here. He already used Wind Run, he's in so much trouble. Chen heal as well, and he's gonna go down. I'm pretty sure he does fall. Pycat in the right place at the right time, and a nice play from Nikwa there. Turning things around with Macro Pyre. Macro Pyre actually a pretty good ability on Jakiro, and that's a big boon to him. He's getting very close to Yules now, and once he gets to Yules, this hero becomes really strong for initiations. He's going to be able to help kill the Brood Mother. He's going to be able to help kill anybody. He can solo kill, he can push lanes. Yules is the item on Jakiro. It's so good. And there's the free tower. That's what Jakiro does, man. Takes towers when nobody's there.
Yeah, and top lane Loader might be trying to take lives as well. Seal Kid, a couple of axes to the back of his neck, and he is down. NiP, though, with the Chen, with Era, with that aura, now going to look to take Roshan, and not necessarily going to be the quickest, but I think they are going to get away with it, because Alliance, 2 heroes top. You've got Nico rotating up there as well, and the rest of them just nowhere near the Roshan. So this should slowly but surely go down in favor of NiP. Loader just trying to man up and take some towers for himself. Magicka pulling the creep wave away just so Alliance can close that gap and get the push on as quickly as possible.
It'll be denied, but it's not that big of a deal. We're going to see Limp try to slow this down, though.
Now Limp trying to clear the wave. There's your Roshan going down. Luna, Era will take the Aegis. Now with the treads and the Helmet Dominator complete.
This is scary now, though, because Roche goes down. They might be able to TP, and they don't, actually.
Yeah, they might. Well, they do. Jonathan fan, that Broodmother. Just, you can't forget about the Brood, because she's constantly going to be pushing, creating an issue for your team, and just gets a free tier 2. And this Spider has a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, look how much money you stockpiled. What do you build? I've seen a lot of different builds. Does he go for that kind of burst damage build where you see kind of the Dagon E-Blade?
I think this is a pretty good game for it, because the Radiant team has agility carries. If you said Dagon and an
E-Blade... in the jungle, Magicka with the overgrowth. They're trying to turn it onto NiP, because NiP came in looking for the fight, but Chen's already been taken down. It's only his army and Era on his own left in this fight. Can they chase down Era? Era does still have the ultimate and the Aegis. I think she will get out for the time being, but... NiP maybe going a little bit too aggressive with just the 2 heroes there. In come the spiders onto Pycat. Loader trying to clear them out with the axes. Seal Kid with the paralyzing cast. Oh, he's got the Death Ward available as well if he finds the opportunity to pop it down. But Alliance, they're going to split and maybe come back in. They want to keep this fight going. Ping's coming out onto Jonas and Fan. But he's a little bit too speedy and he's off onto the horizon. 8 to 8 on the board.
Fight. The overgrowth started things off. NiP can't move, and then they get a couple easy right clicks on Chen. Chen just in a bit of a bad position. A little unsafe to be there because they still have their tier 1 tower. Are they killing the Brood?
I think they are. Dust was popped. There's your ice path to hold him in place, and Loader, dominating streak, finds a very, very good kill, and a kill that is definitely going to feel good for the team, taking down that Brood.
Especially for Nikwa here. That's going to basically finish his duels. He's about 150 gold away from it. And now the enemy team has to really be scared. He'll max out Dual Breath next, which increases his nuke damage by a decent amount, and then finally finish out with Ice Path. So we'll see basically any hero that's within the duels is going to get comboed for a lot of magic damage, and most importantly a setup that's going to allow Sniper to most likely just pick him off before he gets out of there. So things are looking a little more scary now for NiP. Even Effing Mattis got a lot of farm, sitting at 1200, and he went Soaring with the Tranquil build boot. Something we don't see very often on Treant Protector, but that build has been a lot more popularized recently on supports. I think it fits Treant really well. He's got pretty low armor, so the armor from Tranquils is good, and the Soaring just keeps his mana up.
Yeah, and looking at the money he's saved up so far now, on top of that 1400, one can only expect that he is going to be going for that Aghanim Scepter as his next pickup, because in all reality, for the Treant to do his job, does he need any other item at this point?
Well, you could make arguments for maybe Force or something like that, or maybe even a mech, but if he does get Ags, and he's got a tree in the area where the push is, and he can overgrowth those Chen creeps, the push ends. Same goes for spiders, actually. If he's able to actually overgrowth spiders, you know how much gold he's going to get? More than normal? It's going to be pretty ridiculous. I feel like the overgrowth damage is going to be really beneficial towards stopping pushes. If they're not able to kill those trees as they push into towers, it completely kills NiP's draft entirely. So I feel like getting an Ags would be really good this game. He does pick up a point booster, so it's very likely. We're going to most likely see him farm for the next 10 minutes, if possible. But he will most likely show up for team fights and pushes.
Okay, and looking at what the Brood actually spent her money on, she did go for that Necro book, so really opting for that full-on push. Okay. Do you think this is... would you rather prefer to see a fighting build, or do you think NiP, they are in a position where they can end the game soon, they can take the successful team fights, and adding to their push is the best
recipe? These spiders might die.
Oh yeah, Shrapnel. Going to claim a little bit of gold from that, but some of them time out.
Necro 3 it does a lot of damage. I've been building it in pubs a bit more, and it really does a stupid amount of damage. You have to be careful with the gold that you feed. because they're about 200 gold at level 4 each here. Might see a fight mid, maybe Jakiro get initiate on. He's looking for vision. He spots Chen creeps though. He's in a bad spot though. He's so dead now.
Oh, Nico.
But Mules himself buys him a second, might get a dual breath off or something, but yeah, that's about it. It's gonna be hard to defend the push now. He was by far one of the best counter pushers, but armor on the tower will help a lot. But it's gone.
Yeah, as soon as the armor's down, look at the damage coming through from this push, and they might even want to try and push again. Loda with the battle trance trying to take a tier 1 of his own, and on the top lane, Magicka continue to find the farm, and Tree is really being left alone. He is well on his way to that Aghanim Scepter, and I really kind of feel that as long as NiP haven't finished the game within the next kind of 5 or so minutes, if Alliance do start getting the Ags tree online, they get the full global vision, they're going to be able to calculate and predict exactly what NiP's movements are going to be. And with heroes like the Jakiro, the Troll and their Sniper, and even the Scarf, they're going to have very good high ground defense. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to turtle fairly well against the side of NiP.
I think they will be able to, honestly. Especially with the Brood build that he went. It's not very good at killing Troll Warlord with the Necro 3, because he can just blind them as well. So, I don't know. Going high ground, what he needs to be able to do... Alright, so when you're doing like a split push strategy, you need to be a hero that can preferably get solo kills as well. Like Storm is a good example, because anybody...
top lane. Look, Error. They found him on his own. They popped the Overgrowth. They are going to pop down everything for this. Can they kill him before he TP's out? Yes, they've got the Yules. This is going to be a kill and a half. And oh, yeah. You're right, but assassinate Pycat. Oh, the hand of God! The hand of God! Loda gets shackled, yeah, they might find the win, but they... Error! How does he get away from that? What a cheeky so-and-so.
If they would have continued going for him, the chances of him dying were high, but they would have lost a double kill or something, or they would have gotten double killed. You can't go for a kill on a carry that close to a tower for that long, because the team is going to back him up. And they probably anticipated the Chen heal, which we forgot about until top 3 and completely saved him from assassinate. So it was a nice play from Chen to keep it held until the last second.
Hansken, that was a big hand of a god indeed. I think, yeah, it literally went down to 5 HP. Error there on the Luna. And Error opting for the Yasha after the Helm, so opting more for that farming build. Do you not feel that a BKB could necessarily have been a little bit more suited against this team with the Scarf and the Jakiro? Or do you think Error's pretty safe to keep farming up at this point?
BKB is the wrong item right away here, because we just talked about how good Alliance's counter pushing is, right? They're not expecting to be able to go high ground or force team fights anytime soon. I mean, they've got a Brood anyways. It's more about like split push and try to take towers while the Brood is doing things. If he would have bought a BKB, he would put all this investment, 4k gold, into an item that doesn't increase his farming speed. Yasha's going to get him around places. Oh my god, these spiders.
Look at that money.
Oh my god. And the Necros. Can we see I want to see a fight recap on those spiders right now.
That was a lot of gold gain there for the big old dragon. 900 gold in the bank. Magicka, he must be so close to the Aghanims. Yeah, he really is. Just 600 gold to go, and still with a free creep wave here and another one on its way round. No one on the side of NiP in the neighborhood to look to take this tree down. And that is the issue when you play against a tree who goes for the Ags. I mean, do you prioritize people trying to stop him from farming, or do you just kind of take it on the chin and accept that you're going to have to focus elsewhere and let the tree get his Ags?
I don't see why ganking him is a bad thing. You just need a dust and you can get him. The only downside is that NiP doesn't have the best ganking heroes. I mean, with the Chen is a bit hard to get ganks off. A lot of times you need a smoke to get there rapidly. And if you do, you could have been farming the whole time. And Wish Doctor can gank, and Wind Ranger can gank, but Wind Ranger would rather be farming. Luna isn't really a ganking hero, that's a farming hero. And Brood's the same thing, so I feel like their hero resources are pretty limited due to the picks they have. I mean, their pushing's decent, but they can't really gank the tree, which is one of the benefits that Alliance is working with here. I think Mad just keeps getting last hits. Now they're helping him take the Ancients, should finish his items. So 20 gold here and he's got it. Eggs at 21 minutes, even though he started off on a hard support role. He got those 2 kills to start things off, but he's done a great job getting farm while still contributing to his team this game.
Yeah, Magicka's performance on the tree, just in this tournament in general, has been pretty overwhelming, especially seeing as he always has this knack of getting a really good timing on the Aghanim Scepter. And that is just going to be so nasty for the side of NiP to play against, because I get that they've got the power shot to clear down trees, but other than that, it's going to be a very painstaking task of carrying around a gem or popping down sentries. And talking about popping down sentries, getting detection, he's very dead. Tree.
Man, what a good counter against Brood to have the tree with Aghanims. Oh, Spider Murder. Like, it gives you unobstructed vision.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually really good against Brood if you think about it. So now every place that Brood's going to be farming, there's very likely to be vision. And this may be one of the reasons that Brood got the Necro 3, by the way.
Okay.
It'd be very smart for Brood to get a Quelling Blade and then move through the jungle and kill trees. If he doesn't do that, he's not going to be safe. He can gank him. And the important part is, if he's anywhere near a tree, it doesn't matter where the treant is, he can just press his ult button, and you've got magic damage going on Brood. And that's why I knew he's going to die, because he got Mystic Steel. So it does a lot of magic damage. And then it got boosted as well by the Skywrath Mage. Like, they have really good ways to stop the Brood from unknowingly farming. So they can decrease the Brood's farming right here. He's going to be far less annoying than he was in the past. And this is all going to also going to transition to stopping counter pushes, or counter pushing against the enemy's push, and just seeing where they're moving now. And they're doing a smoke, I think. It appears, at least.
They're certainly grouping up, but they got the smoke. The Witch Doctor's got the smoke on his way on him to him on the courier.
Is this for Roche, I guess? They may be smoking a Roche?
I guess so.
They're just going to blink in. They are rushing them.
Oh yeah, they want to do it, obviously, but there's a ward here. Yeah, from Alliance that will have just caught that coming out.
I really like that ward, actually. It's a good ward that never gets dewarded, but it can still spot the Dire team from shifting in to take Roche. That's a really, really solid ward. Just seeing the impression of them moving is a lot of times enough information. So I really like that ward position. It's a really good one.
I guess Alliance, they just figure that there's no way that they can challenge NiP to a pure out kind of pure old damage on damage fight, because the damage coming out from NiP is pretty ridiculous, and the pushing power is certainly there. Alliance, though, they have got the lockdown with the overgrowth, with the Jakiro throwing out his slows and his stuns, and of course the troll just bashing people to high heavens. But they're going to back up from this NiP, heading into the jungle. They're at a really good point to fight with the Aegis on error. Level 13 has got the ult available, but 10-9, NiP can't quite find Alliance, and they're just going to be able to push this top lane out, recover some of the damage that Alliance have done. And in terms of XP and gold, about the 0 mark, gold-wise, it's actually pretty even as well. So the game's certainly getting to a point 24 minutes in where it's leveling out between the two sides.
Yeah, I think Alliance is fine here. They don't have to worry too much about the Aegis. I mean, NiP maybe will be going for a push here, but effing Mad is going to go around and putting trees in the path that they're likely to take right now. I'm sure he's anticipating that they will be pushing, as well as just treeing up the all the camps as well.
Spider-Man! Spider down. Dead Brood Mother there.
Aki really has no items, but he's still making his hero useful, being in the right places. Like, a silence on Brood is all you really need, because it'll stop him from running through trees, maybe? It does keep him visible, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about this. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but he's still being useful, though.
Just the silence cancel is...
it does for Ricky.
Yeah,
so
I think that is just
well
tied to Ricky's invis, yeah. Rather than other ones.
I'm not sure.
Loader. Loader. That is not your jungle, sir.
He walked right into death. He actually just walked into equivalently 4 heroes with Chen creeps. That sucks. Maybe even great shot on Aniqua.
They got the follow-up stun.
Maybe a stun? Oh, not quite. Very close. I think they might have been able to get that, but maybe slight miss micro by the Chen there. I'm not sure. Manta's up on Luna as well, so his battle is pretty good. And most importantly, the illusions get the Moonglaive, so we'll see a lot of glaives flying around in the next fight. That pick was actually really big. That was the enemy's super hard carry. He had a BKB as well. He just didn't anticipate there being heroes right on top of the hill.
Yeah, I guess they have this ward here, but I assume maybe NiP, just the way they approached that high ground, they came around the opposite way, so the ward didn't catch them, and Loda really felt he was safe because of the fact that Alliance had that vision. Yeah, Witch Doctor.
They won't go on. They have a gem now, so they're gonna start killing his trees, and this is where things get a little tough for Treant Protector. He's gonna actually scout him out. This is a little dangerous though.
He needs backup because I mean, Limp just picking up this gem. If they can kill the Wind Ranger, that would be very fortunate.
That'd be so good. Maybe Brood Smiters. Yeah, he's just gonna ulti this. I think it's worth it. I wish I clicked on him before he ultied, but I'm sure he got at least 500 gold just now. Oh, maybe not actually. If you look across the map, a lot of the trees have been killed. He had some trees in the Dire jungle, but they've killed them all, it looks like. And this is what you have to do with the gem. You have to break the trees that have him.
He really, has anyone picked up a Quelling Blade for the side yet? As it's still just the Wind Ranger's power shot that's going to do it, and that is indeed why she is holding the gem, and that is a kill onto the Jakiro. Wind Ranger and Broodmother going to be able to hunt that one down. 11 to 11, it seems fairly even. Loader trying to chase down Era here, and there might be a couple of people going down. Seal Kid will go down to Pycat. Era in the river.
Oh, Pycat went the wrong way.
Yeah, I was going to say Pycat.
But he's playing it safe, probably.
Yeah.
Goes for the farm instead of the maybe killing the guy with the Aegis. It would have been a little dangerous, and it could have turned things around. You have to play really safe in this patch, because any kills that you get when you're ahead, and I think Alliance has a decent advantage personally. I mean, their gold advantage isn't massive, but the game's equal enough where if any mistakes are made, then it gives your opponents a big advantage. So you have to be really careful. People play a little bit more safe than they maybe used to. But really good tree killing here. FE Mad's having a tough time. He doesn't have that many trees on the map anymore, which is going to decrease his farm usually. He ulties again here. He got spiders again. That was still about another 100 gold that he got, I'm sure. He did just buy a gem, by the way. Gave it to Troll Warlord.
Okay.
He's invisible. So
at least they'll be able to stop these sentries that NiP are placing down. But of course, just with the Wind Ranger with that gem, they're kind of relying mainly on her. She gets a very, very fortunate blink out there as they do try and look for the jump on Wind Ranger in the mid lane.
And some swift pushing on the top lane, something that Luna can do very well. They're going to have to TP to defend that. We won't really see Alliance leaving their base that much. With the exception of maybe Treant going around dropping wards and stuff. Tree wards, whatever you want to call them. It's going to find a Brood that could actually go in this here.
Yeah, indeed with Loader here. Yeah, this should be a killer now, as you were saying, on the Troll. Nowhere for the spiders to run. Hand of God isn't going to save you. And the bashes come in.
Bashes on Troll are actually really significant. It's a 2-second stun if you do bash.
It is ridiculous.
It's a lot of time. And it's only 10%, so it's pretty low chance, but it's not terrible. You know, 10% isn't really that bad. It's only a little bit less than an axe spin or, you know, a spirit breaker bash is 17%. It's not a terrible bash at all. It's 2 seconds. Once you get that, especially with extra attack speed on Tree and Protector turns into a DPS machine as well there. So it's a hard game for Brood. The extra vision they've had, they played really well trying to shut him down, and now he's just dropping trees to just give vision of Brood. Because if they can kill the Brood more, they can push out the other lanes, maybe get some control of the map. It's going to take a while until Alliance can win this game, though, just because of the nature of Broodmother.
Yeah, no, I mean, they killed her a fair few times, so they're doing their best to deal with her. Yeah, 3 for 6 on the Brood, and hasn't been able to pressure any higher or further down the lane than that tier 2. Hasn't tickled onto the tier 3 yet, and Pycat still doing very well in terms of net worth. Second on the board, Troll at the top. So Alliance, as you said, as long as they kind of play it safe, they keep the base defended and hold on for a little bit longer, they should just be able to out-carry NiP and take them in these team fights. And a team fight might kick off here because NiP smoked up in the jungle. Oh, there's going to be a pause. And this is an unfortunate pause.
They just spotted the Chen. Chen was smoked. They put a sentry down because he did lose his smoke. They know they're there.
Okay, yeah.
Both teams know that each other are there.
So do you think we're going to see NiP run, or do you think they'll go in on the Troll? They got detection. They just got the sentry, haven't they? And Troll's out of vision at the moment.
The Brood's not here. The sniper's really far away. I think with us looking at the map, them fighting right now would be okay. But I don't think they'll kill the Troll. They can't kill the Troll. He's got a BKB. I mean, and they don't have nearly enough physical damage to burst him. And Arrow's got a Manta style, so he can stop this blind, but as soon as he splits his illusions, he'll take the damage. So they're not going to kill Troll unless they chain stomp him or something like that, like what happened before. He's just simply too farmed, and he has the perfect defensive item, so they won't kill him. I think it would be better for Alliance to initiate here. They could maybe get a kill. With the BKB duration, you can kill either Wishshocked or Chen if they get a follow-up from Ake on a slow, so. No tree ulti either. Well, he can ulti, but it won't do damage, which is really where the good stuff is. He won't get that much farm either by it. Just really not. He doesn't have very many trees on the map. Teams are just getting better at shutting down the tree vision. You have to deward them, otherwise the game gets out of control. The tree gets too many items. Yeah,
and NiP, they're obviously holding on to the gem on the Wind Ranger still. They're in a good position to deal with it. If that Wind Ranger goes down and they lose the gem, that's not going to be nice at all. And the cooldown, what's the cooldown on the gem? status. They can buy another gem in. It's in about 4 minutes, so they really do want to be keeping hold of that, because 4 minutes when you can lay down a tree is every 25 seconds. Every 25 seconds. That's it's about 10 or so trees.
It's kind of cool if you think about it. It's like having a ward. So rather than just having observer wards on the map, you also get a mini ward every 25 seconds that's unobstructed. It's really a good skill if you think about it. It's like you're buying a ward machine with your Aghanim Scepter that also happens to do damage. So killing wards, it's pretty good, and they farm for you. And they eat spiders.
Yeah, it's certainly it was interesting when they did add it to the Treant hero. It's definitely made him more viable in situations and games like this, because with the Aghanims, I don't know. I just feel it can be so strong, especially when teams don't deal with it. NiP, to be fair to them, they are doing their best to deal with the trees so far, but there's only so much you can do, and of course only whilst you've got that true sight available. And if that gem goes down, NiP, that's essentially a 1,600 or so buyout that they've got to invest in just dealing with that one item pickup on your position 4 support on the opponent's side.
He's going a bit of an interesting skill build as well. He's only got 1 in Leech Seed. Opting for stats instead. He's gotten, 2 levels by now? 1 level maybe of stats. I kind of feel like getting more levels of Leech Seed isn't terrible though, because it does heal your team, and that's pretty significant. Heals are fantastic. Yeah, like if you can Leech Seed an enemy carry or something like that, and it's going to be heals for your troll, heals for maybe some other close range heroes. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of hard to say, but Treant does kind of have mana problems. He does look like he's going for a Refresher Orb, so I guess the build hasn't really changed. Refresher Ags is the one. That way you can farm with it or double ulti or all that good stuff, but still opting for stats, I guess, since he wants to better able to afford the double ult. And the HP doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I guess to be fair, we just haven't seen him really use the Leech Seed that much in the fights.
Yeah, it's another argument to make. You actually don't use Leech Seed that often, so he's probably just saying, I don't use Leech Seed that often. I'd probably rather have the stats and the armor and the HP. It might be a bit better. And the 1 point is enough to do the slow. The slow is the same at all levels. The only difference is really the cooldown and the amount of damage it does. So if you don't care about the heal or the damage it does is negligible in my opinion. But the heal is pretty good because it's AoE. So I don't know. If he doesn't care about the heal, then it's fine leaving it at level 1. It does most of what he wants.
So, looking at this this spider, has picked up a Quelling Blade, so we are going to have another way for the side of NiP to take down those trees, and definitely utilising it, as you said, with that level 3 Necro, with that true sight. She'll be able to de-spider as well, and that's something that you're not going to be able to take away from the Brood, even if you kill her, so arguably going to be fairly annoying. But it does mean you are kind of using the Necro units in situations where you might not necessarily be pushing, which is not always ideal. But at this moment in the game, looking at the graph as well, Alliance, they're 4k behind in terms of XP and in terms of gold as well. Alliance have got a fair, respectable lead. And I mean, do you really, if Alliance hold on to the game, they kind of keep it going for another 10, 20 minutes, do you think NiP can still take this, or are NiP on a bit of the timer for this one?
It's actually an NiP lead.
Yes. I mean, Alliance are 4k behind in terms of them both, yeah.
I'm not worried for them at all, honestly. I think this looks like a game in Alliance's favor to me. I just feel like NiP doesn't have a lot of carry solutions. It's basically just Luna. They essentially have a 1-core lineup. Well, it's a 2-core because Wind Ranger. And Wind Ranger is going for Eggs Maelstrom, which is pretty good at killing heroes. But I just feel Sniper is still... I mean, the 2-core lineup here out of Alliance, I think, is a bit stronger. I think they can deal with a Luna easy with a Sniper and a Troll. That's just too much range damage. In the blind as well. I mean, if you get into melee range and you bash the guy, he's in a lot of trouble as well. And Loda's got a pretty good itemization here. His net worth is good. I like Luna's a good hero, but I feel like she's better against squishy supports and things like that. Not as good against like other carries. She's not the best carry hero, and that's kind of the same way that Medusa works. AoE carries aren't very good at killing other carries. They're really just good at doing tons of AoE teamfight damage. So if Luna can't utilize her ulti to kill solo heroes, she's not going to be very good in teamfights, whereas Sniper and Troll are both good at anti-carry as well as killing supports. So I feel like that's why those 2 heroes are picked over Luna right now. So that's why I'm not too worried for them. I feel like Alliance just has the better cores, and their supports are still useful, and they've also got Treant to delay the game to a stupid long amount. So I just feel like Alliance has a really safe game here, and it's NiP's game to lose at this point.
Well, we'll see what kicks off as we should be ready to go. Loader has returned. And perhaps we can continue with the fight. Yeah, the get-go is called by Magicka and Limp in response. Let's see what the two sides do. Will NiP look to pursue this after noticing the trolls there? Yes, they will. They head on continuously into the jungle. Alliance actually backing out this time after leading all 5 of their members in. And yeah, I guess just with the potential of Luna coming out with the ultimate, bouncing through them in the open jungle. Maybe being a little bit careful about picking this fight. Loader going back in with Nature's guys. They do, of course, have this gem on the Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger at the back of the fight, though. So they won't be too sure. Now they will. They're going to come out to clear this creep wave and maybe NiP fight. Loader BK being straight away. Can Alliance actually chase these guys down? Error. No, they're not going on error either. Magicka's trying to find the overgrowth, but he gets stunned because of the sentry and the true sight from the Necro unit. Oh, look at the tree melt. That is a death ward and a half. And well, Treant down, and Alliance on the back foot. Pycat TPing out, defensive ice path to create the space, and they're out of there. Ake might be a casualty. Error chasing this one down. Can they shut down the Ake? And oh, poor old Ake. Poor, he's dead, yeah.
There's really big night vision on Luna, which is why he was singled out there. So and he didn't have a TP. He should have had a TP, but he didn't, so he ends up getting killed. Maybe he didn't have enough gold when they left to go for the push. That happens sometimes on a support. So he ends up getting killed, and not that bad of a loss. I mean, they did lose 2 heroes. Just Treant got caught before the initiation of the Blink Dagger on. It's one of the problems with fighting a jungle, you know. You've got the tree advantage from a tree, but you also have to worry a lot about shackle shots, and the shackle shot set things up and started the fight off on a bad foot. They really needed to land an overgrowth there. I thought Lotus BKB was maybe a bit weird as well. He was anticipating the whole team being there when it was just Chen creeps. So in some ways, NiP baited them out with trading the Chen creeps for a BKB, which I think was worth it. That was a good fight for NiP, definitely.
And it certainly shot Error up the value of net worth now. Just 1,000 behind Troll. 15.5k in. 3.3k on Loader. Overgrowth just going to farm up the waves and farm up the jungle. But we can see NiP just keeping really good control of their own jungle. They're not letting any of the Treant's trees down there. And Magicka is not having a nice game in terms of trying to get these wards up. At least for the time being. The gem from the Wind Ranger with the power shot. It's just, they really need to kill. They need to get that gem. If they don't get that gem, it's going to be impossible for them to have this global vision that you invest in the tree and that you invest in the Aghanims for.
It still does some value, though. I mean, the hero's able to farm items by himself without needing anything. That's kind of cool. He's going to get in position. Roche is up here. Might be able to catch Era. Oh, that's a really good tree, actually. It's going to give them good vision for the push. A lot of heroes will stand over there when defending a tier 1. And they finally get a tower. They haven't gotten a tower in a while. Tower's actually pretty cool. Actually, towers are equal now.
Yeah, Alliance might get Roshan as well out of this one. Do NiP look to take this fight in an arena where they've taken the majority of the Roshans so far? Limp leading the way.
This dangerous.
Yeah, he's scouting it out. Will they be able to jump in? Seal Kid looking to close the gap, but the ice path keeps him away. The stick has been dropped. And yeah, Sniper picks up the Aegis. Top lane though, Broodmother gonna find a tier 2.
Not too unexpected. He's gonna run away with his creeps as well. We'll see. No overgrowth on them. Jakira's pretty good at defending against the Brood. He can always use the Brood if he's in a lot of trouble or force staff himself away. He's got good armor. His stats don't look very good, but the hero's still very relevant, and that's one of the nice things about putting a semi-tanky support as an offlane. Wind Ranger almost died in the bot lane. It's healed though.
Pycat.
What is Troll gonna build next is my next question. Still has a gem. Did he buy something?
Oh, he's found Brood. Oh, the ice buff comes a little bit too late. Yeah, has he? Is there nothing on the way to him? Oh, okay.
He's got 2 javelins right now, which is the right item because there's a butterfly on Luna, I'm sure. Yeah, it's almost. Oh, actually, he left it just the Eagle Song. It looks like he's opting for a Scotty next. Interesting itemization. He probably saw that they all had MKB, so he's like, why should I finish my... Oh, maybe Shackle? Nope, none. Is this the fight? I don't think this is the fight.
Yeah, Hanneskin trying to lead the charge, but nothing to close the gap and slow them down.
So he was going to make Butterfly, but he probably saw that they all had MKBs, so rather than investing the extra 2,700 gold, which is a lot, to finish the Butterfly, he says, I'm just going to buy Ultimate Orbs and finish my Scotty to get me something that actually does increase my survivability. He'll probably make Butterfly afterwards, I think, because the value is still there with the synergy of completing items, but Scotty into Butterfly I think will be really good. Anybody else is going to have... They won't be able to kill the illusions. Scotty and a Butterfly in them. Skywrath Mage has to run away from illusions. Tree does to do the same, maybe. Ooh, almost initiation mid too. Oh, and it's gonna be Ags on Jakiro actually. Interesting.
Okay, well,
this is not gonna work.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of an iffy fight for Alliance if they're not too careful. Loda heading straight in with the BKB onto Limp. There's your Overgrowth. It's fairly good. That Overgrowth turning the fight around. Suddenly 3 heroes dead, and Purge, what happened to that being a bad fight?
Well, I was just a huge Overgrowth there from the tree.
Yeah, it really was.
He doesn't have a Blink Dagger, just really good position. They're gonna grab the Brood as well. It looked terrible because I thought Nico was just going to get collapsed on and get blown up, but Sakshko was just, or sorry, Effing Mad was just in the perfect positioning there. Dropped the ulti down. It didn't really do extra damage, but it caught a lot of important squishy cores, mainly the Witch Doctor and the Chen, and those were able to be picked up within about 5 hits from Loda there. So that's basically the fight they needed. They finally get a big kill, and even a little bit of mana regen extra on Jakiro. He'll be fine. They'll be able to take this tower, most likely Rax. And Era finally going down as well. I didn't even see after he died. Probably died to Sniper. There's the power of the Radiant Cores, and they finally got a little bit of disable on them, and they're able to do the right click in that they've been waiting to do.
Oh, they want to go for more as well. Look, Loda just heading up to the top lane. Wants to try and get a tier 3 in the racks, and yeah, with Era still down for 10 seconds, NiP might not be able to fight against this. Shackle Shot's not going to latch. Loda going to stand his ground. BKB back off cooldown in a couple of seconds. Pycat chipping away at Chen. In come the Ancients. But Alliance, they're at a stage where they can just clear those out if they want to. Maledict's still on Loda, wants to play fairly careful to ensure he doesn't get bursted down. But they find themselves the tier 3, and the racks are open now.
I think they'll stay. I mean, Era's items are in such a position of flux. He's got 2 Ultimate Orbs. Like, Ultimate Orbs are one of the worst payoff items in the game, in my opinion. They're going to be ulting, going in.
Yeah, Loda just hammers away. And he has his second set of racks. Era now trying to chase them down with the ultimate. Pycat.
That's a big slope.
Is he going to get out? Blink from Limp. Shackle Shot isn't going to latch. Pycat, the sniper, survives. Maybe they can turn the big overgrowth indeed. But Loda, without the BKB available, maybe has to get himself out of there. Aegis is going to be popped on the sniper. Seal Kid trying to look for some kind of initiation with the cask and the Death Ward. There's your cast. There's not actually the mana for the Death Ward. Limp getting fairly low. Pycat will find the killing spree, and Pycat will get out.
You know, I didn't think they were going to be able to catch up there due to the great slows on Luna. Luna's ulti was completely wasted, but they eventually caught up. Blink on the Wind Ranger really paying off. They did drop the gem, but it looks like they picked it up as well. So that was a good defense from NiP, but they lost 2 racks there, which kind of makes everything not worth it. Blink Dagger on Tree now, really good item pickup. He wasn't able to finish the refresher, but he wisely just said, you know what, if I just ulti people, we're going to win fights, and they're going to call a good game. They know it's over, honestly. The value that Era has right now, he could finish his Scotty, but then all he's got is a Scotty. It's just not enough advantage, and they're 2 racks at this point. It's just a very, very quick thing for Alliance to just finish up and push the bot lane. It wouldn't take very much. And they don't have the team to split push. It's just they had a team that needed to push and end the game, but Alliance kept the pressure up. They denied the Brood well enough, and they got to a point where their cores just had plenty of items, and there's really nothing that NiP could do in that game. They just needed to take more towers and prevent more farm, and it just seemed tough for them to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, NiP, they looked good for them for the first half, but it just went on a little bit too long, as you said, in Alliance. Well, they had the Troll, the Sniper, and the Jakiro, and that Treant with a very good timing on the Aghanims. And even though NiP were able to deward a fair bit of those trees, it was still a huge component. And the overgrowth from Magicka, very nice this game indeed. And Alliance, they take it 2-0, and NiP, a team that kind of slips in and out of favor. They've had recent kind of spurts of brilliance, but then these kind of lulls, and it seems that they're in one at the moment with a fair few losses in the recent couple of days here in the Star Ladder qualifiers. But we'll see how they can do in the future. And the game on later, what have we got next? It's